Anybody remember September 2018? That's like 4.5 years ago, and that was the last time I was here presenting my business, right before the pandemic. And it's actually a lot fuller now than it was then.
We're trying.
Yeah, amazing job. Great to see all of you, and that seems a lot longer than 4.5 years ago. Seems like another lifetime. And the business models that you started before the pandemic also are very different than what we have today. But we made it. We're here, and a little bit of it is kind of recap of what we do, and some of it is our journey as well. A little bit about Economic Impact Catalyst. We actually started out as Startup Space. That's our old brand, but it kind of became outdated when we started supporting more than just startups. So we rebranded in 2020. This is what we do. We work with economic development agencies like the one you're here at. So this is an economic development agency. We help them with tools and resources to better connect with all of you. And I got this idea in 2018. So I had a previous business in 2010 that kind of crashed and burnt after trying for about 4 years. And that business was a handbag business. So I would import handbags from India, sell it all across the West Coast here. And we almost made it every year. We almost made it. Like our costs were 100,000, we'd make it about 80,000 every year. And after about 4 years, the IRS called us and said, well, this is now a hobby, right? If you make enough years of losses, they don't think you're trying to make a profit, and then you don't get to write it off. So we're like, fine, we're going to have to close this business. It was really heartbreaking because I was young. I thought I was going to change the world. I thought that was my way to do it. And it crashed and burned. So in 2018, I said, I'm going to go back and try and fix this problem for myself. And part of fixing the problem was to see, why do businesses fail, and what can we do to change that? Why did my own business fail, and how can I start another business that doesn't fail? There are a lot of reasons why they fail, and you can't change everything. For example, the number one reason businesses fail is market condition. Can't kind of control that, right? You can't control the pandemic. But there are things you can control, one of them being that if you can connect people or businesses to resources that are around them that they're not aware of, you could help them at least get a little bit further along. Like when I closed my business, within a couple months of me closing, and by the way, I'm from Tampa, I drove here this morning, I started seeing all these businesses around in Tampa that I did not know about. Like, for example, there's an organization called the Tampa Bay Wave that is just for businesses that are starting. And I found the local SBDC network. I see folks from SBDC here. I didn't even know what an SBDC was while I had my business, because as a business owner, you've got blinders on, right? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to build, ship, talk to customers. That's it. And you're not aware of all of these people that are around there to help you. So in 2018, I said, I'm going to change that for Tampa. So I created this platform that is super easy for businesses to be able to find each other and find what's immediately around them in a geofenced area. So I can find within 5 miles of me what are all the resources based on my need. If I need an IP lawyer, if I need an accountant, if I need a web developer, all the little things that kind of trip us up as small businesses, to find them in my own community. That was the original idea. Along the way, I found out that there are other people that actually have a lot of money and are trying to do this. Well, a lot of money is relative. But economic developers have the funding from the state and federal government and from our tax dollars to actually make it easy for us to be able to find each other. So we partnered with them, and this is that company. This is what we do. We're a technology and strategic consulting company for economic developers. So we go into every city, we sit down with them, help them understand how they can better connect with their community, give them the tools, and give them the resources to actually stand up digital assets and virtual networks that can make it really easy for entrepreneurs to be able to find local resources. And I'm sorry if I'm using some big words. In the Q&A, I'll kind of explain some of that. All right. So this is what we are, a technology-enabled solution for economic developers. I'm going to breeze through the next few slides, but in the Q&A, we'll kind of catch back up. What is our goal? To be the number one platform for economic development by 2025 in the US. Today, we are in 27 states across the US. So these are the color-coded shades. If they are dark, that means we have statewide presence working directly with the state government. And if they are lighter shade, we have cities in those communities. These are some of our clients across the nation. A lot of them are pretty large economic development agencies, starting very at the top at the state level. This is our platform for Pinellas County. So in Pinellas County, where I live, if you go to One Pinellas, you could find almost any resource you need, and you can filter it by the type of business you are, the stage of business you are, the industry you are in. If you're a minority-owned business, and you can find a specific resource that can help you with funding or with mentoring or with simple things like web development, etc. Before this, there wasn't a single place to go in Pinellas County. Like, it depended on who you knew and what your network was. And if you're an early stage company or you're just starting out, you might not have that network. So this gives you a network where you can go and you can find, with one or two clicks, a resource, and you can connect with them in real time. This is one of their slides. And this is another site. So you can find resources, you can find events, you can find things like where can I get tax refunds, where can I register my business, things like that. A little bit about our team. So because of the pandemic, we actually hired around the country. So we have now about 20 team members across the US. We also have a team in India and a team in the Philippines. And this is this was on 4 days ago. We had the mayor of Clearwater come to open one of our brand new offices. And we actually now have a physical location. I was working out of my home for 4.5 years, and my wife's like, "That's it. You got way too much paperwork here. You got to take this out." So, and so we opened our location here. And that's a little bit about us.
Big round of applause. All right. Questions, questions, questions.